Hey folks, this is BestInSlot. Welcome back to our Mod Spotlight series for Jurassic World Evolution 2, the final Mod Spotlight series until Update 6 and the Feathered Species Pack comes out on the 30th of March. And you know what that means. So, quick disclaimer, mods can possibly break your game. If they do break your game, it's not my fault. It's not the mod maker's fault, and most importantly, it isn't Frontier's fault. This goes for absolutely everyone. When a new update comes out, things do tend to break, problems do tend to arise. You should do what I do. I always have a fresh, clean install of the game ready to go, like a backup folder, and I'll just replace everything when the update hits, and that way, everything is ready to go for the update, ready to go for the DLC. Some mods may well work post-update, post-DLC, but you don't know until it hits. You don't know what's going to change. Like last time, the feathered dinosaurs broke everything in the Dominion pack, so you never know for sure. It's worth just going in clean, and then afterwards you can check what's still working if you still want to use mods post-update. No Ask Moddies today. They're off cleaning the bathroom. They know what they did. Let's get started. We've got some fantastic mods to take a look at today, some of which contain just a quadrillion dinosaurs. That's an official number. Let's get started, and the first thing I'm going to check out is a new Tyrannosaurus Rex cosmetic. So I'm going to look at this one because it doesn't have a stupid colour on it. This right here is the, I'll tell you what, I'm going to show you this. This is the Stan Rex. We'll talk more about this by Master Doot, but it is part of, there's two dinosaurs in this mod. You just stand in the bloody light. So the Rex has been remodeled here. I really like the skull detail here, actually. That's very, very cool. But it's, it's meant to look a little bit more like Stan, the most famous, probably the most famous fossil on the planet, really. The BHI 3033 Stan specimen, BHI 3033 is the inventory number for Stan. Found in Hell Creek in 1987, sold, and this was big news at the time, it was sold for $31.8 million in 2020, and we didn't know who bought it, and there was a lot of fear that it had gone to like a private buyer who was going to then stick it in their home. It turns out it's going to be an Abu Dhabi museum, probably one of the centerpieces for a new Abu Dhabi museum meant to open in a couple of years' time. So we'll see how that all ends up. But either way, there's our lovely Stan, and he's not the only thing in this mod. So part of the same mod, this is the, hopefully, the Juvenile Tyrannosaurus Rex, again made by Master Doot. Basically, Master Doot has brought out two very cool mods that show a little bit of the life cycle of a dinosaur. So we've got this one here with our Stan and our realistic Juvenile Rex, not based on the one from the Lost World Jurassic Park, as you can see, but it's meant to be more based on what the actual dinosaur would have looked like. We've got a bit of that feathering there, which wasn't there on Stan. The idea being that when they were younger, they were more likely covered in sort of downy feathering, and that would have left with time. Based on the Herrerasaurus, because absolutely everything is based on the Herrerasaurus, and looks really cool. We can actually have a full-on. You know what? If we're not gonna get baby dinosaurs in the game, we've gone through this debate so many times, but we don't need them. As long as people keep doing mods like this, we can have our own family packs in game, and that's really cool. So shout out to Master Doot for that, and to Master Doot for this. So if you come over here, you're gonna see a lot of Allosauruses. That T-Rex pack contained 2 T-Rexes. This Allosaurus pack, although I'm going to show you 4 of them, contains 5 different Allosauruses, all different species and in different sort of cycles of their life. So we're going to start with the big daddy of them all. So this is the Allosaurus Life Stages mod. We're kicking off with Saurophaganax, and it is an absolute beauty. What an absolute menace it looks like. Shout out to Mecha, by the way, for the JPOG music pack. Saurophaganax has long been debated. Still up for debate, although it seems to be edging one way. We'll talk about it in a second. It's huge, right? It's a huge Allosaurid, and it's the largest Allosaurid. And it was long debated as to whether it was its own thing, whether it was Saurophaganax maximus, I believe it was, so it's its own genus and species, or whether it was an Allosaurus. So it could have been Allosaurus maximus, for example, or it's Saurophaganax maximus. I believe the current consensus, I say consensus fairly controversially, I suppose, is that it is its own genus. But that could well change. They did say that they dug up some new material in New Mexico, but I believe that happened in like 2005, 2007 or something, and I've not heard anything about it since. And I couldn't find anything about it since. If anyone knows anything, feel free to let me know. But yeah, it's humongous. It looks awesome. I really like the skin coloring. Those, I mean, it's a very easy combo if you want something to look baller, but black and red is always a winning combination. A little bit yellow there for that counter shaded underbelly as well. Looks fantastic. I love this head detail. Looks really cool. Looks like an Allosaurid. Looks like it's related to the Allosaurus, but a little bit more ferocious. Really like that. Get out of the way, Rex. So as I say, Saurophagonax, absolutely humongous and larger than the Allosaurus type species, which is Allosaurus fragilis. Again, made by Master Doot. These are all Master Doot. So this is our Allosaurus fragilis, and we should see, and thanks to the power of Chiodenic, we can grab this and we can just move it there next to the Saurophagonax. And you can see they're a little bit larger. Well, the Phagonax is a little bit larger than Fragilis. The largest specimens of Allosaurus fragilis were probably only 2 feet or so shorter than Saurophagonax, but the average one, like a more average specimen, was more like 8 or 9 feet. So, you know, this is probably about halfway between those two. It's a nice little size difference. It makes them feel not necessarily like juvenile or parent or whatever, but it does feel like two distinct, differently sized, differently skinned, really beautifully skinned species of the same dinosaur. So whilst all that's well and good, we've got a lovely Fragilis, we've got a lovely Saurophagonax, let's talk juveniles. That's a weird sentence. Rex, get out of the goddamn way. So, Master Doot has also brought out 2 juvenile dinosaurs as part of this pack. Let's check out this first Juvenile Allosaurus. So this is very, very cool. So this one is a full-on juvenile, clearly based on the 2018 the film came out? The Fallen Kingdom Allosaurus. So really cool. Would go really well with the default Allosaurus in-game as well if you wanted to make like a family pack. Oh, Juvenile Allosaurus versus Juvenile Tyrannosaurus Rex. Would go really well with the adult Allosaurus from Jurassic World Evolution, the sort of default one. Because it does look like a really, really well-made juvenile version. You can't just shrink the dinosaur down. You have to, you know, change things up in the model. You have to slim things down in certain areas, stuff like that. And Master Doot has done a fantastic job. Right, but Master Doot did bring out one more juvenile as part of their pack. Let's check out this final Allosaurus juvenile. It's so tiny. So even smaller. So again, you could use this as a different stage of life. As you can see, these ones are a little older, these ones are a little bit younger. These ones based more, it seems, on the Allosaurus that you find in the pack, as in the other Allosauruses from. Well, similar to that Allosaurus, I would say, in terms of styling, it's meant to more resemble the juvenile of that Allosaurus. Actually, you've got those little dots there. Yeah, but yeah, again, really well made. Little cute juvenile Allosaurus. You can see little details like the crest has been brought down quite a lot. The pattern's a little bit more faded, a little bit more subtle. But it really does just look like a juvenile Allosaurus. And you could build a really cool family unit with at least 2 stages, maybe 3. You know, these are a bit too different in coloration for that, potentially. But it's a really cool idea. And shout out to Master Doot. Everything you've just seen is all from 2 mods by Master Doot, which, of course, I will link down below in the comment section if you want to check them out and download them for yourselves. Now, we're not quite done with Allosaurus, however. Whilst we're here, we'll check out this Allosaurus. This is the Battle at Big Rock Allosaurus by Fei Long and Game Videos for Life. And I know we already have a Battle at Big Rock Allosaurus, so just bear with me. You'll see what I mean. So, very cool. This is something people have been asking for widely ever since we got the Battle at Big Rock Allosaurus as a cosmetic in Jurassic World Evolution 2. People have been asking, Bill, it's a completely unique model. It looks very different than the default Allosaurus. It's a spiky demon creature. You know, what people want from it is not to have to use the default skin, but to use it as its an entirely own model. And as I say, thanks to Fei Long and Game Videos for Life, you can now do exactly that. It is the Battle of Big Rock Allosaurus, but with its own colour scheme, with its own patterns, yada yada yada. So you can now use it completely in your guide for so many Allosauruses. you can now use it completely in your game. This is like a dream come true for a lot of people. Looks really good. Nice little patterning there. Really interesting color combinations, because it would have been a bit pointless to have this and have it only be grey. The whole point is that we want to see it in these myriad colors, and it suits them. It does. It looks really good, for example, in this sort of pale forest sort of green. I think that looks really nice. Now, before we move on to our final few species, we're going to check out one other mod, the only non-dinosaur mod we're seeing today, and that is this mod right here. Let me just get down there in capture mode. You ready? Dramatic moment. Please face the right way. Come on, be cool, damn it. So, this is the goat replacement mod. Replaces it with a white-tailed deer made by Gushi Gua. I don't know what's going on with the eyes. I didn't realize that, okay. But, yeah. You know, it's just cool. It's a really cute little white-tailed deer. Look at his little tail. This little white tail plop, plop, plopping. Flop, flop, flopping. Get out of the way. No. No. Right. Okay, we have 3 dinosaurs left to check out. Let's check out an Inosaurus, made by Commander Summity. Did I add the Y? Was it Summit? It might be Summit. I think I've written Summity for some unknown reason. What did Inosaurus run? So, Inosaurus, probably, it's got to be said, in terms of ceratopsids that people bring into the game, definitely one of the most popular. It's got that really interesting curved forward nasal horn, as you can see. It's got a really interesting crest shape, and it has an interesting story as well. So, no wonder it is, I would say, possibly the most popular choice for a new species ceratopsid that I've seen added over the years, both Evolution 1 and Evolution 2. So, Inosaurus, an Upper Cretaceous ceratopsid from the US. The buffalo lizard, funnily enough, discovered by Jack Horner and his students, and he was only granted access to the site. So basically, Inosaurus was discovered in this huge number of fossil beds, which were presided over by the Blackfeet Indian tribe, and they were protective of their land, understandably. But they gave Horner access because another member of the tribe had worked with Horner on a previous expedition, and he'd been very respectful of the land and hadn't caused too much damage. So the Blackfeet tribe decided to let Horner work on this site where the Inosaurus was discovered, basically. And over the years, following that decision, a huge number of ceratopsian fossils were found for Horner and his students. Absolutely tons of the bloody things. Until, and that just kept going and going and kept going every summer, and, you know, running a new dig site, until 1990, when, for reasons I don't know, the tribe decided to let commercial fossil hunters into the area. They opened the area up much more instead of just letting Jack Horner and his people onto the land. And the commercial fossil hunters bulldozed the hell out of absolutely everything, destroyed the land, and basically caused irreparable damage to the science of the fossils that they discovered and stuff like that as well. So, kind of a sad end to the story, but it was cool for a little while. Next up on our list, we have an Indominus Rex. Man, I still love that exit animation so much. I really do. So, this is Northfire's Indominus Rex. Now, for those who've seen Northfire's work in the past, you know what they tend to do is both subtle remodels, or less subtle in this case, and also texture updates. Dinosaurs tend to get really nice new textures, and that's definitely the case here. It looks very sharp, it looks very modern, it looks fantastic. The model is a whole different thing. They really pushed the boat out a little bit more with this Indominus Rex. And they said the idea was to make it just a little bit more scary, essentially, a little bit more animalistic, a little bit more menacing. You see that's been done in a couple of ways. The snout has been elongated. Turn around. Turn around. There we go. The snout has been elongated. It's less boxy than it was in the past. And the other more noticeable change is the spine as well. You can see it's got a very noticeable sort of spinal ridge down there through the middle. A little bit of Spinosaurid DNA in there. And it changes the... you can't go back in. Like, you're out now. Changes the profile of the dinosaur quite a lot. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know if it's cool or not. I really can't tell. It definitely looks different. Small changes have made it not really look like the Indominus Rex anymore, but I do think it makes it look more aggressive, and from a distance it does still look quite classically done. What is wrong with you, though? Like, Are you okay? I'm going to move you over here. Maybe that'll fix your brain, which seems to have broken slightly. Right, anyways. Last creature. Get out of the way. Thank you very much. Okay, last creature of the day is a Nothosaurus made by Tripe. I think it's meant to be Trippy, but it should be 2 P's, so I'm going to call you Tripe. Very cool. So this is the Camp Cretaceous Nothosaurus in particular, I should mention, from the latest... See, this one looks like it's been... I think this is based on Dimension. This one has been absolutely shredded. I wonder if that's on purpose to make it look like cuts and stuff like that. Love how they run. Absolutely love how they run. Let's find one with a slightly less bonkers skin colour. There you go. That's pretty sweet looking, actually. So yeah, Nothosaurus, really well modelled. Really does look like the Camp Cretaceous one. I had to go look at some images. I've not seen the latest Camp Cretaceous season. Did I even see season 4? I did. I saw season 4, and that was enough to make me never watch Camp Cretaceous ever again. Some of you love it. That's totally cool. I'm glad there's a property out there for other people. It's just not for me at the end of the day. But yeah, I know this is a really good rendition of the Camp Cretaceous Nothosaurus, and I can't imagine this was super easy to get working so perfectly on the rig. There you go. There's our Nothosaurus. Look, it looks great. There's a huge array of really sharp, splayed out teeth. Very Jurassic World, isn't it? Little bit of osteoderm action there because, again, it's Jurassic World. You need osteoderms. But, yeah, really interesting looking creature. Really well modelled, really well rigged by Tripe. Trippy, I'm sorry. Nothosaurus. What is Nothosaurus? Because obviously it's not a dinosaur. It is a Sauropterygian? Yeah? Sauropterygian reptile from the Triassic. Sauropterygia was basically a taxa of aquatic reptiles that absolutely flourished during the aquatic, but during the Triassic-Jurassic extinction event, they were basically all wiped out, with only the plesiosaurs surviving. We don't talk about the Triassic-Jurassic extinction event quite a lot, but it wiped out a huge amount of life. It really did. Thanks to a host of possible factors. You're talking climate change, volcanic activity, extraterrestrial impact. That means an asteroid or a comet or something, not, aliens, just to confirm. Anyway, Nothosaurus was a predominantly aquatic reptile, which, with its oceanic lifestyle and webbed feet, is a sort of reptile seal hybrid, I guess. Now, I'm assuming this one doesn't have webbed feet because it's Jurassic World and they needed spooky claws. You have oh, there we go, we're flying. That's just when you move things. Yeah, it doesn't have the webbed feet, unfortunately. They definitely splay out a little bit, though. It definitely feels like a more terrestrial iteration of the Nothosaurus than it would have been. But, that's not Trippy's fault. They've done really well at bringing it into the game. It looks really good. And if you've been working on a Camp Cretaceous park and you wanted a new species to throw in there, along with all the others we've got in the game, then Nothosaurus is the way to go. Now all we need is a hyper-stylized Smilodon and we're rocking. But definitely going to enjoy the pack in the meantime and the update. And of course, I'll bring you all that content right here on the channel. We'll have, as per usual, an overview of the free update and all the animations and stuff for the new feathered species. So stick around on the channel this coming week for all of that. And then, of course, some Planet Zoo, hopefully, as well. So, yeah, busy times. Thank you so much for joining me. Throw me a like if you enjoyed the video. Let me know which is your favourite of these 7 fantastic mods. And I'll see you lovely folks next time. Thanks for joining me. Cheers much of as always. Bye-bye.
Reaching out.